So it's tool time. Har har. No, I received another package. This one is from Lunyee. This is not a laser engraver, nor is it a 3D printer, but this is a Desktop CNC. As you can see, it's a pretty compact machine. This is their 3018 model, and this is the Ultra model, so the top of the range of their 3018 series. This one's got very beefy linear rails and bearings on the x-axis. So yeah, let's see how it performs. In this video, I'm gonna unbox it. I will show you what's included with the set, do a quick assembly, and then yeah, do some testing on the machine to see how it performs. And yeah, let's see what the end result will be. If you want to see it, stick around, watch till the end. So you will see yeah, my final thoughts on this machine, and also me testing out some materials. And then let's continue with the first step, unboxing everything to see what's inside. So first, let's take everything out of the box. I have to say, even though it's a pretty small box, it has some weight to it. So I don't know. Let's see what it looks like. Let me open this. As you can see, it's nicely taped together. So there's a. Let me put this aside. There's a user manual, nice and colorful. It has a lot of Chinese, but also nice pictures. So I think the assembly, yeah, would be okay using this manual. Let me take out. Oh, there's something inside because it feels heavy, and there is. Almost threw it away. Little cards. I've got the controller. As you can see, it's nicely packed in ESD in an ESD bag. You've got a nice toolkit. It's got many different things. Little organizers, USB stick, probably with some software or drivers on it. So that's it for the first bum. Let me see, I've got some clamps for the working area to hold the workpiece. Some router bits, I think they are V-bits. Little screwdriver is inside. There's an E-stop button you need to mount. And then you've got some zip ties, a power cable of course, a little touch-off plate. So it has a, yeah, so you can touch off and set the Z-axis. There's an ER11 collet, so that's nice. Because this one came with a 500 watt spindle, a little brush. It's also included in the set. This is the spindle. It's a nice and beefy spindle, I have to say. For a pretty small machine, it's a 500 watt spindle. I remember having the 80 watt on the 2 trees, and it was just a little underpowered, so this is nice. As I said, it's an ER11 collet, so you can just put in the collet. Also air cooled, so no water cooling on this spindle. Then I've got the power supply. Oh, there's something. Oh, a little ruler with a power switch. So you need to assemble this machine. USB cable also on there. And then I've got some covers for the extrusions. When you put the cables in, you can just put some covers on it. And let me see. I can take this one out. And now I will be having some other tools, some cables for the assembly, also to connect the stepper motors and the controller. So that's all, of course, included in the set. Oh, that's nice. You've got a little offline controller. Let me take it out so you can see it. There's a little screen on there. Fun. Looks like a yeah, DIY kit, but it's nice to have it. So let me put it here. Then I've got the gantry. Let me take it out. It is indeed a pretty beefy gantry. Let me take this one out. As you can see, let me turn it around. It's got a NEMA 17 stepper motor on the Z-axis and the X-axis. But here you can see, hopefully in the video, you can see these linear rails. These are pretty beefy, and also the bearing blocks. They are pretty sizable. So there is no play whatsoever, so that's nice. And also the aluminum plates, they are pretty heavy, pretty thick. It's I think a centimeter thick. You have got the knobs on the stepper motors, limit switch on the Z-axis. The other ones you need to mount over here. But this is looks promising. Also this, it's a pretty beefy part, so that's nice. And then we've got the bed. Let me see if I can take it out. Like so. I will show you in a minute. See if there's anything else. No, so let this, throw this away. Also, if you can see the bed, it's a pretty thick aluminium plate. It's got all these threaded holes in there, so you can put your clamps on there if you want to clamp something. And on the also a NEMA 17, 40 by 40 millimeter extrusions. Again, pretty solid base, centimeter thick aluminium, and also bearing blocks, and a nice nut on there. So I think it's an anti-backlash system. So it's got probably a spring inside. Yeah, it's got a spring inside, so it presses together. So it reduces or takes out the play. Yeah, you got these threaded rods. So that's, I don't know, looks nice. It feels pretty beefy, so I think you might be able to do some aluminium as well. Let's see if it does. Again, limit switch is already pre-mounted. So you need to wire it up, and that's it. So it's a pretty easy, I think, assembly. The only thing, the wires might be, yeah, you need to connect it to the controller. But for the rest, you can put this one on, just mount it on the side. This will not move, so only the bed will move. And of course, yeah, the spindle. So this one doesn't travel up and down, so that makes it pretty beefy. So next up, I will do the full assembly. Later in editing, I will speed up this video. So if you don't want to watch the whole assembly, just skip to the next chapter. If you do want to watch, everything is on there. Just to slow down the video, you can follow along. After the assembly is finished, I will let you know if I encountered any issues, things I did not like or things I do like. So I will let you know once this is fully assembled. So as you can see, the assembly goes pretty quick, but in the manual it only goes to the assembly, and then it says the board functions, and it only gives you this. So there's no overview on how to connect the wires. I know there's a video online, so I can check online, but I'm supposed to get all the wires nice and neat, put these strips in the extrusions, also use this one, put all the wires in here so it's nicely covered. But there's no explanation in the manual how to do this. I'm not really very fond of this one. I think there are better ways to connect this. I don't know, it looks a little bit like an aftermarket thing. I understand that you can put different spindles in, and but it would be nice if there was just a normal connector that you can just connect it directly onto the control board. But it does work. So first I want to try it using the provided controller. So just connect it to the PCB, to the control board. There's also a little SD card inside. So you can load your G-codes on here. USB connection, little screen. So, oh, there's even a protective foil, but I will leave it on for now. So let's see if it turns on. One little tip, important one, especially with Chinese machines. Always check, over here there's a switch that you can set the voltage. It's currently set to 220 volt, so that's okay. Otherwise, if it's on 110 volts and you use it in Europe, at least in the Netherlands, then you will blow out your power supply. So always check this. So one little thing, initially I thought that the e-stop would go here because it reaches nicely, it fits on the connector. But when you read the description, it says that it's a 24 volt spindle. So and the e-stop connector is actually over here. So always double check before powering on the system. I also did this so nothing will be damaged. So now that's connected, let me see if I can turn it on. This one is still off, so there's a switch on the control board and also on the power supply. I will turn it on. The fan will not spin, so let's see. Yep, it turns on. You can see there's something on the screen. You've got 3 menus, menu, file and set. You can move using these buttons. If I press this one, you get this menu. You can move the X, Y and Z axis. I will not do this yet. I first need to check if my end switches are working. Let me see if I press this one. Oh, I can set the increments, so the steps, as you can see, hopefully. And if I want to go back, this one says exit, so maybe, yeah, if I long press it, it will go back. Then I've got a file menu. You can see there are some G-codes on there. I can try these, and I've got the set, and this is the different baud rates. So I think I need to set it to the maximum baud rate, but I will check it later. You can also manually control the Z-axis up and down, Y-axis and X-axis. So that's when using the movement menu, probably. So next up, let me test the limit switches to see if everything is working. So another thing with the online controller, there's this little leaflet included. So you can only either connect the online controller or the computer, but you cannot do both. So wrong connection method, connecting the computer and connecting the controller at the same time, that's no-go apparently. So you have to choose either one. So for the wiring, eventually everything turned out just fine. It's not the best, but I put on all these little clips that you can, it has double-sided tape. I followed the video from Lunyee. This is pretty, yeah, you can follow it. You need to put the sleeve on. This one, let me see if I can raise it. This sleeve you need to put on. So disconnect a few cables, then put them through and then put on. Also on the back of this one, in the video, they have a different extrusion. So normally you can put these things in, but this one is flat on the bottom. Let me see if I can see it. Hopefully you can see it over here. It's just flat, so it has some clips with double-sided tape and then zip ties. But in the end, I think it all worked out. Again, it's not the cleanest install, I think. I think there should be better ways to do this, but it does work. So the cables are tucked away. No loose cables that can get mangled with the moving parts. So yeah, I think we can do the testing of the limit switches now. So I have checked all the limit switches. They work. I'm not sure yet how to reset it. So if I trigger a limit switch, I don't know how to reset it. I need to figure it out, or maybe I can check on the internet. But for now, I just power it on and off. But that works. So let me test the movement. Let's do the increments of 5 millimeters. And then I will do the Y-axis up. So the bed moves down. That means that the spindle will move up, because the bed travels, not the spindle. If I move down, you can see it moves down. If I do increments of 10, you can see it moves pretty smooth. Now I will go to the left side. That works. To the right side works. Let me do 5 millimeters the spindle up. Pretty slow, the z-axis, because I only need to travel real small increments. And then down. That's also working fine. Now let's see if the spindle turns on. It does. And it turns off. It's not that loud, of course you hear it, but it's not the loudest spindle I've heard. So that's fine. So my initial thoughts on this machine so far, now that it's fully assembled. Although it's a small machine, I really like that it's a very beefy machine. Very thick aluminium bed, thick aluminium frame. I like the fact that they use these linear rails and pretty large bearing blocks on the x-axis. Also the z-axis has these linear rails and the bed as well. So that makes for a very sturdy machine. You can see I rock it back and forth pretty hard, and you can see hardly any deviation. So yeah, there's no play in it. I did a review on another machine a few months ago, and it came with these V wheels on the axis. So yeah, it does work, but you can see there's quite more play in it than this machine. I cannot feel any play in this one, so I really like that. That makes for a very solid machine. And maybe you can even do some light metals with this machine, like aluminium, if you do light passes, because of this, yeah, this build quality. Let me have a look at it, because there is a little deflection, of course, but very minimum. I will put a plate over here. I will put this one on, lock it in place. And let me put this one under load. Let me raise it a little bit. I will put it under, set it to 0. Like so. Let me zoom in a little bit. See if I can show you. And let me focus on the dial. Oh, I'm pressing the table, you can see it moves. Each increment is 0.01 millimeter. So let me press down on the machine. Let me move the head a little bit up, so you can see what I'm doing, like this. So now it's set to 0. If I press down on it, you can see it does have a little bit of play, but if I press really hard, it's 1 millimeter. So it's not that bad. It's of course not a professional machine. It's a hobby machine. And if you compare it to some other machines which have normal linear rods instead of these beefy rails and bearing blocks, I think this one makes really for a better machine than some of the other 3080 machines. So another thing I want to test is to see the runout on the spindle. I've put the clock on the spindle, set it to 0. Let's move it. Wow, that's actually, wow. I didn't expect that, to be honest. But that's almost perfect. I'm very pleased with this one. So it's less than 0.01 millimeter. And that's probably also because I'm moving it with my hand. So it's pretty much spot on. Wow, that's nice. So these clamps that come with the machine are pretty nice and beefy. They come with these T-nuts, so if you have a slotted bed you can just put them in and tighten them. But this one has threaded holes, so if you move this up a little bit, you can just thread it in, like so. And then you can put something underneath, then put these ones like this and tighten it, so you can secure it to the bed, like so, and also this side. And as you can see, it's pretty sturdy. So that works great. Also double-sided tape, of course, you can use. It's a great method. Or painter's tape and using Some super glue is also done sometimes, but this one works. This is always a little bit scary. If your head moves around, it might touch these knobs. So that's why often you see double-sided tape used, or super glue, and then you can remove it later on once you're ready. But it's nice that they included these ones with the machine. So initially I thought that all these bits that are included are all V bits. I just found out that's not the case. As you can see, this is a ball nose spiral bit, spiral upcut bit. This one is, it's the same. This one is also a spiral bit, different cutter, also a different diameter. This one is the same as this one, so you have multiple of each. This is a larger one, I think 3mm, also the same cutter on the bottom. These ones are shorter ones. These are V bits. I think this is 60 degrees. So there are different bits included, so that's nice. In the meantime, I have disconnected this offline controller. I've connected the machine to a computer. I've also connected the Z-probe. So what it does, when you create a loop, it will touch off. So you need to clamp this one on the bit, and then when it goes down, it closes the loop and it will touch off. So let me show you. If I press the Z-probe in the software, you can see the head will move down. It will touch and it will raise the head exactly 6.6mm. So now the Z height is set. There's also on the USB stick, which is included, there's software. It's called Candle. So you can easily operate the machine from this software. Let's say I want to move the gantry to the left. I can just, or the head I mean, you can just press this button, also to the right. You can set different increments, front and back as well. Raise the Z height. It's a lot slower, of course. You can also turn on the spindle, turn it off. So it's nice that they included this software. What I will do next, because I also found some samples on the USB stick, some G-codes. So I will do this one first. It's a smiley. Let's see what it does. That's up next. So I have set the machine. Let's start this program and see what it does. So it finished in 52 seconds. Let me move it a little bit to the front. Let me zoom in a little bit, see if I can lower my camera. So you can see it did engrave it. So that's nice, nice and clean engrave. So first test worked out just fine. So this design is also on the USB stick, 2 cogwheels. I want to see if I can use a cutter for this one. Only a light cut, so I will not cut it all the way through. So what I did is I changed the bit to this small spiral upcut bit. Let me put the camera back and I will touch off to set the Z probe, the Z height I mean. So let me do that. Here we go. So now the Z height is set. I will set the X and Y axis to 0. Let's start and see what he does. So it's ready. Let me clean it up a little bit. And let me take the camera so you can see what the result is. I think for a first test it's not bad. Of course it's a little bit rough, but it depends on the speed and also the type of bit you're using. You can sand it a little bit. But all in all, I think he handled it pretty well. So next up I found this wrench. This will go to minus 4.5 millimeters. And I will need to hold it because with the second pass it will cut through. So I will stop it because as you can see with the second pass it came loose. So I did nick this, let me set the focus. I did nick this a little bit because it got loose. But let's have a look. Let me clean it up a little bit. It really did a very good job. Nice and clean cut. So I should have set some tabs, but this was just a sample. Normally you can set little tabs that it will not get loose, so you can cut them later on. Or make sure that this is thick enough that there's some adhesive tape underneath here. So this is my mistake, not the mistake of the machine. But again, I think it really turned out very nice. I could hear on the sound that I think the speed, the cutting speed was a little bit too high. The machine does cope, that's not an issue. The machine is sturdy enough. But I think the bit might break if you speed it up a little bit too fast. So let's engrave a metallic business card, 45-degree V-bit. Let's see how he handles. So it looks pretty nice. Let me move away the spindle. Let's zoom in. Let me clean it a little bit. And as you can see, it's a pretty clean engrave. So he does a very good job. So let me show you this up close. As you can see, it's a nice and clean engrave. So next up, let's try some MDF. I've changed the bit, a 3mm spiral bit. I want to do some pocketing, so I've loaded the design. Let's start it and see what the result is. It will take about 15 minutes. Yeah, here we go. And let me clean it up a little bit. So I clean it up a little bit using a brush. But you can see, even without sanding it, it does look pretty nice. So you can see, again, also on MDF, the machine did a nice job. I don't see so much tearing. So the fun thing is, now that we have AI, if I go for instance to ChatGPT and I will give this command, give me a G-code to cut a full circle, feed rate 100 millimeters a minute, plunge rate 0.5 millimeters per step, total depth 1 millimeter, circle needs to be 30 millimeters in diameter and spindle speed is 1000 RPM. He will give me a G-code which I can easily modify if I want. If I now load it into the program in Candle and say send, let's see what it does. You can see he will cut out the circle. He will do it in 2 passes. So yeah, if you don't know G-code and you start out using a CNC, you can also use ChatGPT or another AI tool, especially for simple things like this. You can easily create G-codes. You can always run a simulation before you actually cut it. So yeah, I think it's very convenient, and yeah, you can just use the tools at your disposal. So he will do 2 passes. So once this is done, he will do another pass, and then it's ready. But you can see it's a nice and clean cut. Diameter will be 3 centimeters, as you can see. So that's perfect. And this is just an example, of course. Very complex G-codes. I'm not sure if you will be able to do this with AI, because you need to know what you're doing. But things like this, or maybe you want to engrave a name, or yeah, things like that. Just give the command to the AI tool and start cutting or engraving. Let me move it. So here you can see it's a nice circle which is cut using AI. So next up, I want to engrave a depth map of a dragon. I will use this block of wood. Even though this is a small engrave, it will take about 5 hours to complete, because I'm using a very small V-bit and it's a very high resolution engrave. I will put a camera on there. I will make a time-lapse video so you can follow along, and I will show you the results once it's ready. Also a nice test for this machine. Engrave 4 or 5 hours in a row, see how he holds up. If I've got any issues or not, I will let you know. But let's put this one on and I will show you the results once it's completely ready. So the engrave is ready. It took 5 hours and 19 minutes, I think, in total. But the result, I think, is really, really cool. Let me show you. Here you can see the results. You can clearly see the amount of depth in there. You can see the head, you can see the body. You can see all the little small details on there. I really, really like it. I could probably speed up the feeds a little bit, because as said, it took 5 hours and 90 minutes. And I have a feeling that the machine is capable of much more, and also is the bit. So if I'm going to do it again, or maybe in a larger version, I will for sure speed up the feed rate a little bit. It's a very sturdy machine. I didn't have any issues during the engrave. 5 hours in a row. No issues whatsoever. Stepper motors kept cool, so it didn't overheat anything or whatever. So I think the machine is a solid machine, and you can really do some fun stuff with this one. So now that I've got this machine for several days, did some initial testing on it, what's my initial feeling about the machine based on the things I did? I think it's a really well built machine. It is a small machine, but I like that a lot, because I'm not using a CNC mill or router on a daily basis, so it's easy that you can just grab the machine, put it on the table, connect it, and off you go. So I like that very much. I also like the build quality of this machine. They really use some very thick and solid materials. Already mentioned it a couple of times. I really like the linear rail with the very beefy bearing blocks. This makes for a pretty sturdy Z-axis assembly. Also, the bed is almost a centimeter thick aluminium plate, as well as the frame. So I really like that they did this, and I like the upgrade. You see many of these 3018 machines on the market from many different brands. They are in fact almost the same, but yeah, this one has a much better linear rail system. on the x-axis, so I like that very much. My initial testing, I did some engraving, this one with a V-bit, worked out great. Then I tested some metallic business cards. Also this one, as you can see, it came out very nice, so you can create some fun stuff using this one. Then I did a cutting test on the 3.6 millimeter plywood. This one I nicked it, you can see here, that's my mistake. The part came loose and I didn't fix it properly. So if I've used, I should have used tabs to hold it in place. So this is my own mistake. But the cut came out really nice and pretty quick, so no problems there. I also tested some aluminium, 1 millimeter thick. But as you can see, I did not have the correct bit for it. So I didn't put it in the video, but you can see also over here, let me see here, I tried to cut it and it worked fine. The machine is capable of doing this, but I just didn't have the correct bit, so I didn't put it in the video. I did some pocketing testing. This worked out very nice, as you can see, nice and clean cut. Also the edges were yeah, nice and clean. I cleaned it up a little bit using sandpaper, but it already came from the machine very nice. I also showed you how you can incorporate AI into this machine. So by just using ChatGPT, I gave it a command, create a circle 30 millimeters and certain depth and steps. So he cut out, or he engraved and cut this circle. So that's nice that you can just yeah, create G-codes using AI, and this machine will just operate accordingly. And then also finally I did the depth cut. This is a depth map of a dragon, and you can really see the very nice high detail, all the little things on the body, the head. So I really like this one. This one took more than 5 hours to complete, but I'm sure I can change the speed settings because this machine can handle it without any issues. So that's it so far for this machine. Again, I really like this machine. I think it's a well-built machine. It's a small and compact machine, but if you're not doing this on daily basis and also do smaller projects, I can really recommend a machine like this. Easy storage. It does weigh, I think, about, I don't know, maybe 15-20 kilos. So it's not a very light machine because of the build quality, but that makes it also for a very sturdy machine. So if you like this video, let me know. If you have any questions, just raise them in the comment section below the video, and I will always try to respond. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.